TikToker Texas Ghost Hunters posted a claimed Civil War ghost photo from Gettysburg, Pennsylvania. The photo was taken during a hike, just a casual shot of their surroundings. But when they later reviewed their photos, a figure appeared to be standing under a tree. Some believe it could be a natural shadow or a distortion caused by lighting and camera quality. Others think it resembles reports of apparitions often linked to Gettysburg's history, described as the spirits of fallen soldiers. On January 26, 2026, the YouTube channel Trail Off uploaded a video of a hike in the foothills of the Tararua Ranges, about 10 minutes north of Apiti. The hiker was moving through dense woodland when this happened.
Well, fuck. I'm on the ground right now. I've stepped down onto a root and it's given way, and I've heard a snap either in the root or in my ankle, and now I'm in a bit of pain. So I guess this is a really good opportunity for me to document what I'm doing to get myself out of this situation. I want to be clear, this is not pretend. It's a real life survival situation now where I've hurt myself. I don't know how badly. I've already called loudly for help. No one has heard, and there's every chance that at 2:39 p.m. in the afternoon on a Saturday, there's a chance I might be the last person through this trail.
He suddenly fell to the ground, realizing it might be a possible fracture. He tried to stand up and walk a little to test how bad it was. He contacted emergency services through GPS, waiting in pain for help to arrive. After a long and frustrating wait, a helicopter eventually reached the area. When the rescue team finally located him, medics later confirmed it was a minor fracture.
I can't go that foot first. There's no chance I can be out of here on this ankle before dark. And if I can't be out of here before dark, bastard! Fuck. If I can't be out of here before dark, I can't really safely get myself out of here.
The situation shows how quickly a peaceful hike can turn into a survival situation, just from one unseen step in the forest. Lauren was driving home late at night through a national park when she hit a deer. Shocked and shaken, she stopped and went to check on it. The deer lay still on the ground. At first, it looked like it might already be dead. Still, she cautiously approached. Suddenly, this happened.
Bro.
Startled, she froze, but instead of running, she slowly reached out and gently touched it. For a brief moment, it didn't react. Then, without warning, it turned and walked off into the darkness. Some pointed out that deer involved in collisions often go into shock, which can make them appear frozen or unresponsive. Sadly, in many cases, if they survive the initial impact, they run off, only later to succumb to internal injuries. So was this just a natural reaction in a traumatic moment, or something about it that didn't feel quite right? A YouTube creator known as Rob Outdoor set up camp on July 12, 2024 in what was described as a well-known dogging car park. The area had already had a few vehicles parked when he arrived. Rob settled into his van cooking dinner. Nothing seemed out of place at first, until things started getting weird.
This place is weird. Bloke in a van's just pulled up. He was parked there. He just drove off. He was parked there. He walked down there, and I was at the back there cleaning my stuff. In fact, I can still see a man there. see him. So that bloke walked down there and then walked behind my van where I was cleaning my stuff. Look at that bloke there, look. Trying to look in the back of my van. Look at him.
A man stood near the back of his van and appeared to look inside while Rob was cleaning up. As the night went on, more vehicles arrived and began circling the area. One car repeatedly looped past him.
So that's the third time he's done that. Look what's back, people. Look what's back.
While another stayed parked with its headlights on for an extended time. The situation grew increasingly uncomfortable, making sleep impossible. By 11 p.m, Rob decided to leave and relocate to another car park. It didn't feel like just a harmless gathering of people. Something felt very suspicious. A group of hikers in California's Big Sur wilderness made a disturbing discovery on April 9, 2026. While hiking along the remote Pine Ridge Trail near Sykes Hot Springs, deep in the Ventana wilderness, they came across a woman's body near the water. She was later identified as 37-year-old Joanna Ruth Shields from Carlsbad, California. Early reports from the scene described visible injuries, including a head wound and markings around her neck. At the time, those markings raised serious concern, with some fearing they could point to something more sinister. Hikers also reported encountering a man nearby, who claimed to be her friend and said she had gone into the water shortly before being found unresponsive. But as the investigation progressed, authorities revealed an important update. The markings around her neck were not signs of strangulation. Instead, investigators now believe they were caused by insect activity. Despite this clarification, questions still remain. The exact cause of death has not yet been confirmed, with toxicology results still pending. No arrests have been made, and officials have not determined exactly what happened in her final moments. Before we continue, this footage may be upsetting. A channel called Animal Shelters Near Me shared a heartbreaking video from August 18, 2019. A group of cyclists were riding along a wooded trail in Portugal when one of them slowed down after noticing something unusual just off the path, near a tree. As they got closer, they realized it was a dog, tied tightly to the tree with a rope, restricting its movement. It quickly became clear the animal had been deliberately abandoned. The cyclists immediately shifted from confusion to concern, knowing the dog wouldn't survive long on its own. Thankfully, in this case, the animal was found in time and could be rescued. But situations like this are difficult to understand, because leaving an animal like that behind shows a level of cruelty that's hard to comprehend. No animal deserves to be treated that way. On February 15, 2020, the YouTube channel FG the Pilot shared a video showing an exploration inside Aokigahara, a dense forest in Japan known for its unsettling reputation, often associated with people going there as a final destination in life. While walking deeper inside, the silence is suddenly broken. A scream echoes through the forest. There's no clear direction where it came from, and the YouTuber didn't see anyone. After taking a few cautious steps away, he decides not to investigate further and leaves the area. Given the forest's dark reputation, a scream like that feels even more suspicious. On May 31st, 2024, the YouTube channel Solo Camping Adventures uploaded a video of a solo camping trip in a remote part of Michigan. The trip began normally as he arrived at a boondocking spot far away from any campsites. After midnight, the calm broke. A sudden loud noise woke him inside the tent. Soon, he realized there was movement circling his tent. Multiple animals were outside, pacing and sniffing around the campsite. By morning, everything was silent again, and the campsite felt normal. But the memory of what circled his tent in the dark didn't fade easily. Could it have been a dangerous animal? A person was camping in the Perm region in Russia. When he returned to his campsite, he wasn't alone. A bear was sniffing around the tent, likely searching for food. Then the bear grabbed the structure and pulled it down in a single motion, collapsing the entire tent in seconds. The footage ended shortly after, and the uploader didn't share what happened next. But what if the camper had been inside the tent? Paul, creator of the YouTube channel Paul's So Hard, was out riding his motorbike deep in the forest. While navigating back through the woods, something horrifying appeared near the trail. A skull, partially exposed in the dirt.
Oh my god, that's all the brake we have. Good thing she was in gear. Bro, there's a human skull. No. Yeah, I think so. No, bro, come down here. No way, that looks like a human skull, guys. This is not what I wanted to find.
Bro, that's how fast I came.
Bro, look at that. Is that not a human skull?
Check her out.
I've been watching the Dahmer doc and like...
On edge.
Bro, that's human.
Oh, that is.
Like that's dead at... those are teeth. Did we call the cops?
I don't know about that one.
Like that is a human skull. Holy crap, that is actually a human head. That is a skull.
I don't think I've ever seen one before.
Bro, that's teeth and everything, like.
That's the murder weapon.
That's kind of scary.
Yeah, no, that's super scary. Should we take a photo at least?
Yeah. Like, I think we gotta go to the authorities on this one.
As they moved closer, they realized it looked like human remains. Authorities were contacted and arrived shortly after. As the area was searched more thoroughly, additional remains were discovered hidden in the surrounding vegetation.
We go through the fence right here and then minor hike, but not too bad. I didn't see any other body parts.
Oh, I do.
Where?
Something right through there. That's got
Oh.
a piece of bone.
Yeah.
There's the rest of his backbone right there.
Yeah.
Must have washed out.
Right through here. Yeah.
Yeah, if you look.
I guess was
All the way up. See right there to your left, and then right there behind that.
Oh, there's another one, yeah.
a shoe. Holy shit. Oh, there's a bunch in there. Holy cow.
There's another one there. There's one over there. Holy
My
crap.
guess was
All the way up to
someone
the road
jumped
tracks.
off the train. That was my first
Or
thought.
they got hit by a railroad.
Yeah,
track.
or
What began as a disturbing discovery soon turned into something far more tragic. Investigators later determined the remains likely belonged to a person with dementia who had wandered into the forest and never found their way back. TikTok user CrimeStories39 shared a clip showing something unusual sitting high in a tree, reportedly recorded in California on April 6th. The figure itself was hard to make out, but its eyes stood out immediately, glowing bright red, almost like they were on fire. Maybe it was an animal reflecting light in a strange way, but most viewers think it resembles descriptions of the Mothman. Do you believe in such creatures? A passerby was walking through a graveyard when they saw what looked like a typical statue, but then it moved. According to the uploader, it wasn't a person. It was supposed to be a statue. This must be edited or staged, right? What else would explain this? A man was walking through a national park in Salford, England, when something about a nearby tree made him stop. There, in the bark, was what looked like a face. Carved into it, or perhaps naturally formed, perfectly positioned, and somehow it appeared to be smiling.
tree.
The longer he looked at it, the more uneasy he became. So how did a face like that form so perfectly on a tree? A hiker was walking through the Appalachian Mountains when she stopped to record the scale of the forest. As she filmed, a sound echoed in the distance.
I'm on the Appalachian Trail, and I just heard a voice.
At first, it seemed far away, easy to ignore, so she kept moving. Then it came again, closer this time. The tone of it wasn't clear, but it was enough to make her uneasy. Not waiting for a third time, she turned around and left the area. In parts of the Appalachians, there's a saying passed down through locals. If you hear something calling you, no, you didn't. Some people online refer to this idea as the mimic, a supposed presence that imitates voices or sounds to draw attention. But in reality, forests like these are filled with animals whose calls can sound surprisingly human. Foxes, owls, and even deer can produce cries that are easily mistaken. So what did she really hear out there? Just wildlife echoing through the mountains? Or something else out there, hidden in the Appalachians? A camper captured interesting footage while traveling along a quiet road. Above the landscape, a large group of birds appeared suspended in midair. The entire flock seemed frozen in place, as if time had stopped mid-flight. Was it a natural phenomenon, an edited clip, or a glitch in the Matrix? So far, no one has the answer. This man, known as Les Giants on TikTok, shared a terrifying moment one night at his home in the Appalachian Mountains. As he went outside to check his chickens, something made him stop.
I just heard.
He heard a voice. At first it was faint, but then it became clearer. It sounded like someone calling for help. The voice even seemed to say a name, trying to lure him closer. But when he looked around, there was no one there. Some believe it could have been a real person in distress somewhere nearby. Others think it could be something far more unsettling, often tied to local Appalachian legends. Either way, hearing something like that right outside your home is downright terrifying. Mexican paranormal investigator Alberto Del Arco on his YouTube channel was exploring a place known as the Desert of the Lions, an area often associated with reports of strange and unexplained activity. During the early part of the exploration, something was captured.
Cuidado atrás, no te saques. Ay, cabrón, te juro que se me hizo ver a alguien pasar por allá. Por allá. Como si se hubiera cruzado.
Slowing down, a faint shadow-like shape can be seen moving near the bushes. As the investigation continues, an object suddenly falls nearby, interrupting the search and drawing immediate attention from the team.
Ay, no mames. ¿Ya ves? ¿Qué fue?
No sé. Algo cayó de ahí.
Pero ¿sabes qué escuché antes?
They later reach an abandoned property deep within the wooded area. While searching around the structure, the cameraman captures movement inside the building.
Después de un rato hemos vuelto nuevamente a la casa. Está peligroso, güey. Estar así por la noche no.
After further searching the property, the team eventually decides to leave, and the footage ends shortly after. They only realized later, while reviewing the footage, that something or someone was inside. But what? During a hike through a national park, this person was looking up at the stars when something caught his attention. High above him, something unusual hovered in the sky. It gave off a bright, steady glow, and its shape didn't match anything familiar. It wasn't clearly a plane or a drone, and it didn't move like anything he recognized. So what exactly did he witness that night? A homeowner living next to a national park shared footage from a motion-activated camera placed in their yard. During the night, the camera detected movement. Not unusual for a property near the forest, but what appeared in the footage didn't resemble any known animal. A tall, white shape moved slowly across the yard. Because the motion sensor was triggered, something physical had to pass through its range. Some believe it could be a natural effect, like mist, condensation, or light distortion captured under the right conditions. Others think it resembles descriptions of strange figures often reported in wooded areas. Whatever it was, the footage offers no clear answer, leaving one question behind. What was really moving through that yard that night? YouTuber UV Parjapti Vlogs was filming while exploring a park when he saw something he couldn't explain and started recording. From the ground, 2 hands could be seen emerging from the soil, one green and one black. The surrounding area looked empty, with no visible person or clear explanation for where the movement was coming from. Could it be a staged setup or props placed for effect? Whatever it was, it looked disturbing. A camera in England noticed unusual bright lights in the sky around 3:30 a.m. Quickly she grabbed her camera to record. The lights seemed to belong to a large object hovering above the ground. The glow was intense enough to illuminate parts of the surrounding area. What was hovering over England that night? And did anyone else actually see it? On August 30th, 2009, a trail camera captured something unusual in a national forest. In the picture, there appears to be a person wearing a full clown suit, standing among the trees. The face is turned directly toward the camera, as if it had noticed the device. Some believe it could simply be a prank, or someone walking through the forest in costume for unknown reasons. Others point out how strange it is for anyone to be dressed like that in such a remote place during the heat of summer. Investigations were carried out, but no clear answers were ever found. What would a clown be doing in the middle of a forest? A video published by La Nun TV in November 2021 shows a man walking along a forest road late at night. As he moves forward, he notices something unusual ahead. A dark figure, standing completely still in the distance. Unsettled, the man quickly changes direction. But moments later, he sees it again. The same figure. When he calls out, it suddenly moves, disappearing into the shadows. But then, things take an even stranger turn. Moments later, the figure appears again. This time up in a tree. Unfortunately, with the low light and poor quality of the footage, it's impossible to clearly identify what the man actually encountered that night. The YouTube channel OM Vlog set out to complete a 12-hour overnight challenge near a reportedly haunted hut, camping inside a small tent surrounded by trees. As night fell, the atmosphere quickly became tense. Not long after, they started hearing movement outside the tent. Something was out there. When they stepped outside to check, the noises didn't stop. Instead, they seemed to circle the area. Uneasy, they returned to the tent. But then, they heard this. Despite everything they captured, they never actually saw who or what was making those sounds. So was something really out there that night, or was it all just part of the act? Now, let's watch this next scary video together.